The Battle of Thermopylae was a famous clash between Greek city-states, led by King Leonidas I of Sparta, and the Persian Empire, commanded by King Xerxes I, during the Second Persian invasion of Greece in 480 BCE. It took place at the narrow pass of Thermopylae, which was an ideal location for the Greeks to defend against the much larger Persian army. In 490 BCE, the Persians had already invaded Greece, but were defeated at the Battle of Marathon. Xerxes, seeking to avenge his father's, Darius I's, failure and expand the Persian Empire further into Europe, launched a much larger invasion in 480 BCE. The Persian army, according to some ancient sources, numbered over 1 million soldiers, though modern historians suggest the number was likely closer to 100,000 to 150,000. The Greeks, recognizing the threat, formed an alliance, but they were divided in terms of how best to resist. The Spartans, renowned for their military discipline and skill, took the lead in organizing a defense. The Greek forces at Thermopylae were led by King Leonidas I of Sparta. Although the Greek force was composed of soldiers from various city-states, it was primarily a Spartan contingent, numbering about 300 Spartans, along with a few thousand allied troops, possibly up to 7,000 in total. The Persian forces under King Xerxes were vastly superior in numbers. They attempted to outflank the Greeks by sending troops around the pass, but the narrow terrain at Thermopylae was ideal for the smaller, well-disciplined Greek force to hold off a far larger army. For 3 days, the Greeks managed to hold the pass, inflicting significant casualties on the Persians. The Persian forces were frustrated, unable to break through the Greek defenses. The final stand. On the third day of the battle, a Greek traitor, Ephialtes, informed Xerxes of a secret mountain pass that allowed the Persians to bypass the Greek defenses. With this new route, the Persians were able to outflank the Greek position and surround them. Knowing the situation was hopeless, Leonidas dismissed most of the Greek forces to allow them to retreat. However, he and his 300 Spartans, along with a small number of Thespians and Thebans, chose to remain and fight to the death in a heroic last stand. They fought valiantly, but were ultimately overwhelmed by the Persian forces. Aftermath and legacy. The Battle of Thermopylae was a Pyrrhic victory for the Persians, as they suffered heavy losses for a victory that ultimately had little strategic impact in the short term. The heroic resistance of the Spartans and their allies became a symbol of courage, sacrifice, and the defense of freedom against overwhelming odds. The Battle of Thermopylae delayed the Persian advance, buying time for the Greek forces to organize and prepare for future battles, notably the Battle of Salamis, a decisive naval victory for the Greeks, and the Battle of Plataea, where the Persians were decisively defeated and forced to retreat. The Battle of Thermopylae remains one of the most iconic military engagements in Western history, celebrated for the valor and selflessness of the Greek forces, especially the Spartans, whose sacrifice became a symbol of resistance against tyranny.